house, there are 8 rows. 8. They only need one more number. Ooh, we could potentially have that many kids running. I hope not. So let's see.
All right, stand up. Here we go. Question is, listening ears. Where is
your favorite place?
Playground.
Oh, that's a fun place.
Playground.
Ice cream shop.
Oh!
This is what we use here in class, and it's available for all the students here, and it's something that they can use, whether to tell me something that they're wanting to say that they just can't get out, or use this as a guide for their stories.
It really started with this idea of collective efficacy of bringing all of my teachers who work with my special education students together, because they were working more in isolation. And so when they came together, they started talking about similar needs for similar students that they all saw at different times. And the biggest one was this idea of communication.
What's my new color?
Blue.
Blue. Rami, we have blue.
As a parent, you spend a lot of time kind of guessing. You know, I think he's into this, I think he's into this. He liked this last week, does he like this week? And so he's able to tell us. We learned that his favorite fruit is pine cones.
I didn't know his likes, his dislikes. I couldn't even tell you his favorite color, and I think I figured it out.
Where normally he would just get frustrated or yell or just be grumpy, he could now communicate even more than he already was.
I put in a lot of work at home, and I was really nervous that introducing the AAC device that he would stop trying to communicate with his own voice. But so far, he hasn't had that. It's helping him read. It's helping him learn how to spell things.
We asked the teachers, are you guys teaching them to read? And they're like, well, that's next year, maybe in 2 years. The only thing we could attribute to is the iPad device.
Everyone communicates differently, especially at different times, and everyone deserves to be understood.
It's been easy to use. It's been a way to connect with our kids that have less verbal skills, help them bridge that social gap too.
We already know that multimodal learning is an effective means. We know that kinesthetic input, visual input helps solidify new learning.
Nobody's having to recreate a wheel. We can just build on what we have and have a really strong standard baseline across the district. You have access, you have this tool, now let's build on it, let's start using it so kids have more access.
It could help so many kids, both the kids in need and building empathy for the kids who don't need to communicate in that way.
We have our students that have them. We also have teachers with modeling devices, so we can model how to use them. Or, you know, oh, you look like you're upset or frustrated. We'll model, I feel frustrated. And then students do it. They would start with 1 or 2 words like you would see in the younger language development, and same kids are now using almost 3-word sentences. And so you're watching their language develop through the AAC, which has been really cool to see.
Visuals with ML students, it's huge and it's so helpful. And so what I loved about the posters is that they have the visual and then we can work on the vocabulary.
There are times where we don't understand everybody. We have a lot of different speech needs in here this year. And so it's nice for them to be able to participate in the circle and get what they want to say out.
I really want to highlight what's novel in their mind and not what's just only being interpreted by others. Maybe I'm not able to access my words in that because I'm just like, in that moment, but I could easily go over here and I could let someone know that I needed some help.
They need less adult support to be able to be with their peers and with their friends in class. They can build those relationships on their own and they can navigate their classroom without having somebody sitting there communicating for them or having to try to decipher what their needs are. They can articulate it themselves.
All students can use this device. All students can use the Tell Me More core boards that we have in our hallways and our recess. And for my students who actually have the need for this tool, to feel really safe about using it in all settings.
It has totally destigmatized what that means to have a different communication.
Maybe they don't necessarily need a device, but if they have one in front of them, they get excited about it, and so they want to answer the question, so they're gonna listen a little bit better.
Students are easy.
Yeah, the students just embrace it, you know. They just want to interact with each other and feel that connection.
I was a little concerned about the technology, and there's nothing to be concerned about at all.
Cell phones are bad for kids or too much screen time, but I think they are a great tool if they're used as a tool. We would want to use any tool available to us to kind of help teach our children and kind of speed things up and help them make their way in the world.
I think they're going to be more compassionate of people all over their lives because of this experience that they've had.
Communication is a human right, and being an effective communicator is really important.
We do this work for kids. Like, we are in service of children every day. I don't want them to ever feel like there is barriers. I don't want them to say, oh, I can't do that. I want them to say, how can I do that? Or I can't do that yet. What can we do to release that for every child? And this is a really amazing way to give every child access to communicate in a way that's comfortable with them. And it's not hard. It's really not hard. That's the sense of belonging that we're working on. Every student, every child here has that sense of belonging.